Ladies and gentlemen of Australia, a moment has arrived, a moment that echoes in bank branches, household kitchens, and across every living room where families calculate their futures. Yesterday, the board of the Reserve Bank of Australia gathered once again behind closed doors. The air was heavy with expectation. Across the country, millions waited with bated breath. Mortgage holders, business owners, first home buyers, each of them praying for relief, for a lifeline, for a decision that could ease the pressure on their monthly repayments. And yet, as the sun set and the verdict emerged, hope met hesitation. The cash rate target would remain untouched, locked at 3.85%. Unchanged, unyielding. The whispers of a sure thing, of a guaranteed cut, evaporated like steam on a cold Canberra morning. What happened? Why, when every sign seemed to point towards a cut, did the RBA choose caution over compassion? The answer lies not just in one moment, but in the bigger picture, a picture still blurred by uncertainty, still forming in the shadows of inflation and economic fragility. Make no mistake, this decision sent shockwaves across the country. Financial markets reeled, economists scrambled, homeowners sighed. The expectation had been baked into forecasts, integrated into advice, and held up as a certainty. But the RBA said, not yet. They are waiting, watching, measuring every decimal, every percentage point, every subtle turn in the dancer data. And now, all eyes shift to what comes next. The date is already circled. August 11th and 12th. That's when the RBA will meet again. That's when the question will rise once more. Will the rate finally fall? Will August be the month that brings financial relief? The answer may come sooner than the meeting itself. Because on July 30th, the Australian Bureau of Statistics will release a figure, a number so significant it might shape the very course of the economy. The June quarter inflation data. This is the RBA's North Star, its guiding light. It is the quarterly data that counts, not the monthly snapshots that flutter in and out of focus, but the solid, comprehensive report that captures 3 months of Australian life in cold, hard numbers. The figure to watch, 2.6%. That's the magic number, the threshold, the key that could unlock a rate cut. If inflation, in its core and measured form, comes in at 2.6% or lower, then we may very well see the RBA move decisively in August. A cut would become more than a possibility, it would become a probability. But what is this figure, really? What does it mean to the average Australian? It is more than just a statistic. It represents the balance between economic growth and control. It is the temperature of our economy. Too high, and we burn in inflation. Too low, and we freeze in stagnation. The RBA seeks a narrow corridor, between 2 and 3%, where inflation is stable, sustainable, and safe. Last quarter, the underlying measure, the trimmed mean, sat at 2.9%. Just inside the target band. Just close enough to justify hope. But close is not enough when the stakes are this high. The RBA is looking for confirmation. For consistency. For a pattern that reassures them that inflation is not merely dipping, but truly cooling down. That is why they did not cut this time. Because the monthly figures, while encouraging, are not the full story. They are, in essence, a preview. And previews, however promising, are not the final cut. The RBA wants to be sure. And Governor Michele Bullock made that crystal clear. She stood before the nation and spoke with the weight of responsibility. The bank will wait. It will not act until the July 30th figures arrive. Because this is not about guesswork. This is about trust. The trust of millions who anchor their livelihoods to interest rates. The trust of those who borrow, invest, and dream. And so, the question becomes not just what the RBA will do, but what the ABS will show. Will prices across Australia continue their downward trend? Will groceries, rents, and fuel reflect stability? Or will the numbers surprise once again? Until then, the country waits. Families will recalculate. Mortgage holders will reassess. Financial advisors will recalibrate. Because this decision, this singular move, has the power to shape budgets, break burdens, and offer breathing space. It's more than economics. It's about dignity. It's about peace of mind. It's about the promise of a future not weighed down by repayments that stretch too far. August now looms large. It is no longer just a month on the calendar. It is a beacon. And yet, within that waiting period, there is also a warning. Because even if inflation does dip, it must do so sustainably. One good number is not enough. The RBA has made that clear. They seek trends, not moments. Patterns, not anomalies. And that's what the July 30th data will reveal. Not just a point in time, but a direction. A signal, a call to action, or a call to hold. But consider this, if inflation lands where it needs to, if the data confirms what many suspect, then the August meeting could be transformative. A rate cut could come. Not just one, but perhaps more in the months ahead. Mortgage repayments could fall. Disposable income could rise. Business investment could accelerate. Consumer confidence could lift. A domino effect of positivity. But for now, the suspense holds. Australians must wait through July. Must watch the world stage, global inflation trends, and domestic spending habits. The RBA has held its hand. It has chosen the long game. And for a nation looking for relief, that may feel like delay. But it is, in truth, caution with purpose. Because behind every number, there are people. And in August, if the numbers align, those people may finally find some relief. A sigh, a smile, a moment where the pressure eases just enough. Until then, we remain in limbo. But not without hope, because the future is not yet written. And August is still to come. The decision has been deferred, not denied. And the Reserve Bank, like the rest of us, now turns its gaze to July 30th. The date that could change everything.